Hello, everybody, and welcome to News and Views for April the 24th, 2025. For the very last time, here I am telling you on Monday, April 28th, is the federal election day, so get out and vote. Although, from the record numbers that went out and voted in the advance polls, including I hear tales of long lines here in Neepawa as well, many of you have already done that, and thank you for that. But anyone who hasn't, Monday will be your last chance to vote in this federal election. Our voting station here in Neepawa is at the Yellowhead Center in the hall. And if you haven't heard any of the positions on the candidates, we did interview 4 of the 5 candidates here in Neepawa. That is up on our YouTube channel, as well as a roundtable we did with some community leaders regarding the issues that are really important here in Neepawa. So you can check that out on our YouTube channel as well. And of course, those are airing on the station. I don't have the schedule in my head, though, so you'll have to look at the schedule to see where those are at. And finally, if the exhibit at Arts Forward has inspired you, we are in a bit of an upswing for the Aurora right now. There was a gorgeous one last night, and I kind of checked my little app to be able to update people on this. And first week of May, it looks like we'll see a lot of activity. So again, if you've been out to the Arts Forward, seen that gorgeous photography exhibition on the Aurora and on sort of citizen science projects related to the Aurora, go and check that out. Maybe get your camera, your phone out, and see what you can do the first week of May. So on the show today, we were actually out at the edge of our coverage area this week to cover the Virden Job Fair. Of course, the owners of the Neepawa Banner and Press also own the Virden Empire Advance. They run those as well as the Rivers Banner. And so they were out there. So Chris Waddell grabbed her camera and checked out all of the stations there at the Virden Job Fair. We will have an extended version of this program. She got over 2 hours of footage, so there's lots and lots of information on job opportunities, educational opportunities, and the goings-on in that area. And on the show today, we've sort of had to narrow the focus, or you'd be getting a 2-hour show. So we narrowed our focus to sort of the healthcare and emergency services opportunities in education in this program for News and Views today. But again, there's a whole lot more to check out that will be available on the YouTube channel and of course elsewhere in our schedule later on. So if you have anything that's going on, whether it's something like this job fair, whether it's a community event happening, festivals are going to be coming up as the weather turns, please get in touch with us or film your own footage, send it in. We would love to show it. You can reach us at 204-476-2639 or by email nactv@wcgwave.ca. Thanks and enjoy the show.
Fort LaBosse Career Fair at the Tundra Place in Virden. Primary care, paramedic. Appreciate everything you do. So you need recruits.
Absolutely. We're looking to fill up our class that is going to be starting in August.
Okay, here in Virden?
No, we do the class out of Brandon.
It's classes out of Brandon. Is it at Assiniboine? Do they call it Assiniboine Community College anymore?
They just call it Assiniboine College now. But,
Assiniboine College.
We have our own facility. It's on the east side of Brandon.
Okay. Oh, okay, on the east side. And here's a dismembered arm.
Just one of our training props that we use for training the paramedics.
Well, I'm often the guinea pig for training blood techs, and they learn well. So we appreciate knowing how to do this. So it's primary care paramedic program, and it's going to start in August in Brandon.
We also have an emergency medical responder program as well, and it's going to be starting in October.
October. Okay. One of the hardest jobs around. For the young and the strong. Take care of your body.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Oh, so are you based out of?
Well, we're based out of Brandon. I actually used to work in Virden, so when I started my career in Virden, and I worked here for 9 years.
Okay.
Yeah. Then I just recently moved to Brandon, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
With the RHA the way it is, you have to cover a huge area.
Oh yeah. Especially with we're facing staffing issues like every healthcare department in Manitoba, right? So.
Yep.
with the units we cover cover a pretty large area.
Yeah.
We're pretty much all the way to the U.S. border and as far north as Winnipeg Osis. So, yeah.
No, the expectations are very high.
Yeah.
For your work.
Well, that's why we're here, trying to find the next generation. Hopefully, fill some more positions.
I know of people who've done your job for years and they're now into their 50s and they're doing other healthcare work because it's emotionally demanding, but also physically demanding.
Yeah, that's for sure.
So.
Yeah, you gotta take care of your body, that's for sure.
And the emotional side of it, we can't always, you don't know what you're getting into.
Yeah.
So our thoughts are with you.
Thank you.
So that's paramedics, and the training is at?
Well, we have 2 schools in Brandon right now. So we have the MESC, so they are a fire and paramedic program, and we also have Elite, which is just a straight paramedic program.
Oh, so it's a straight paramedic. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you.
Oh, Brandon City Police. Look like the young recruits here. Like, can't have had, cadet. Okay, yeah, you are. So you're just trying to encourage people to come in just behind you. So where did you take your training?
For cadets, we did our training with the Brandon Police.
Okay.
So there's some officers who did some in-classroom training. We did use of force, and then at the end of our training, there was an exam that we did that we passed, and then after that, for cadets, we did 2 months of in-field training as well, and then here we are now.
Here you are now.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's Brandon Police Service.
Yes.
What's the area Brandon Police Service covers? I mean,
Just the city, yeah.
just the city?
City limits, yes.
City limits.
Yeah, our population of about 55,000
Yeah.
or so. Yeah.
We won't get into any of the challenges. It's an important, very important service. So Brandon Police Service, another job opportunity without going to the large city, and could probably commute from home to work for Brandon City Police. How long is the course?
Our recruit officer position that we're recruiting for right now, it's 6 months of training.
Okay.
And then a probationary period after that of about another 6 months, and then you work your way through your years. And as a first class officer, they'd be making 113, and it's all paid training. So that's a bonus. And if there's any experienced officers out there that will see this, we are offering a $12,500 signing bonus for experienced officers as well.
That sounds, to my old brain, sounds significant.
Beneficial for sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't have any training, so I don't think I'd be much use. I don't think I want to be trying to take anybody down. Thank you.
All good. Have a good day.
Okay. Provincial 911 Emergency Communications. So you're with Emergency Communications?
Yes, Brandon Public Safety Communications Center.
Okay, and it's based out of Brandon then for this Westman area?
It's actually for all of Manitoba outside of the city of Winnipeg.
Oh, okay.
So the city of Winnipeg has their own 911 center, and we do everything else for the service.
Okay, that is a huge
Yeah, it's a big area.
geographic.
Yes.
Wow. GPS obviously has helped. One of the challenges for someone a little older phoning in what they consider is, I see you've got emergency or not, all the different categories.
Yeah, that's just a little game that we have that we can ask some questions of the people that come to our booth.
But, because I know you can get calls that are human interest. I mean, they're not an emergency.
Yeah,
may
exactly.
look like an emergency. But for someone who is local and they know where the place is, but to try and explain it to someone in Brandon so that they can find it, like fire at the Virden golf course. How do you handle that? Because the person doesn't know the address.
Right. Yeah. So the way it works is that if you're calling from your cell phone, it's going to plot on your. It's going to come up on our screen here, your approximate location. We don't always trust the location 100%. We always ask questions to determine the exact location you are. So if you called into us, and it would show us approximately your longitude and latitude, but we would ask you exactly where you are. If you said you're at the Virden Golf Course, we do know where the Virden Golf Course is. And it would plot on our map over on that screen over there anyway. It would plot us in Virden. And in the general vicinity of the golf course, and then from there, we're going to ask you questions about what's going on. So it's a fire, it's a medical incident, an accident, or something like that, and then we did determine what agencies need to respond to that. Right. So a medical call, we're going to take the information. We're actually going to transfer you over to MTCC, is the organization. They're in the Brandon Hospital, and they're the ones that dispatch out the ambulances for the
Oh, okay. So that signal off your phone is a key now.
Yes.
I think probably, how long has that been in place? Like, I think of calls that I personally have made where I couldn't tell you the address in a particular community. And I, like, the ping on I don't think there was a ping on the map back then. Like, how long has that been?
It was about the mid-2000s that the phase, it's called Phase 2 location spill came out. But because originally it just used to be the caller's number that would show up for us, right? And then introduction of cell phones and became more mainstream, and then it was called Phase 2, where it would actually give us a longitude and latitude of the location. And so that longitude and latitude, again, there is a error of there is some uncertainty with that location because it's a general approximate. So we still ask the questions to determine the exact crossroad or general area. That
it's amazing how we don't notice if we're on road 74 west or 35 north. Like, as a general population, we don't pay attention to those.
That's right. That's exactly right. Yeah, that's one big thing that if you know your location, then you're going to get help quicker potentially because you're going to know exactly where you are, right? But even just like you said, the golf course. If you told us you're in Virden Golf Course, we know where that is. We can look that up where that is. If you're on the number 1 highway and you don't know exactly where you are on the number 1 highway, we can see, generally speaking, where you are, but we're still going to ask you those questions like, do you see any mile markers, or do you see any crossroads, or if you're near the halfway tree to Winnipeg or something like that. If you give us that, we know where that is because we have all those general locations logged in our system.
Because I know even phoning in for CAA, you can know exactly where you are, and they're using GPS off your phone, but it's showing up a street a block over.
Right.
And they're having trouble finding you, and like, we're right around the corner. Just keep coming. It's the car with 2 old people waiting for help.
You betcha. And that's where we are going to ask some of those additional questions on top of the location that we get for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, the fact that we have it is tremendous. So, and you operate out of Brandon.
Out of Brandon, yes.
How many years in this position have you been?
In this particular position, I've been in here 7 years. Prior to that, I've been with the City of Brandon for 15 years before that, so I've been involved with this for quite a while, but not in this position.
Wow, that's a huge service. So, thank you, Mike.
Thanks.
Appreciate that. And Brandon EMS.
This is not a band. No. Hello.
Manitoba First Nations Police Service. Appreciate you very much.
Thank you for having us.
No, that is excellent. So, where do you operate out of?
Right now, we're out of Portage-La Prairie right now.
Okay.
We are looking to move to Brandon as of October.
Okay.
We have our new headquarters setting up there in Brandon
Okay.
as of October. So but we do all our police recruit training out of Portage, just outside of Portage, Prairie
Okay.
in Southport.
Okay.
That's 6 months of police training. It's all paid for by our service.
Okay.
They get a living allowance of $1,500 bi-weekly,
Oh wow.
and there's accommodations there for them as well.
Well, that really helps a family wanting to get into this, but you've still got to have your children in school and groceries on the
Yeah,
table.
yeah.
Like that is a huge assistance for a family, because that's often the case when you're furthering your education, is that cost of living on top of it. So that's
so it's all paid for by our service, and they get that living allowance as well. And then we do have a class that's just starting up in May. May 5th is a class of 25. And we have another class we're looking to fill for October as well.
okay.
So back to back training.
So are you trainers?
No. Recruitment.
Just recruitment.
Yeah, crime prevention.
Crime prevention.
So I work in the communities and with our members, just in different aspects. I've run some youth programs, so it's just that connection in the communities that we do police.
So there's south of here, and I can't say the proper names for them.
Neepawa. Yes, we police that community. Birdtail Sioux, we police, Wayway Capital.
Yeah.
Long Plain, First Nation, Swan Lake.
Do you go north on number 50 highway and north on 10?
Not so much north on 10, because that'll take you to Rolling River.
Yeah.
We do not police there, but we do police in Sandy Bay, Long Plain, and also Roseau River.
Yeah.
And we're moving up north. Our newest communities have been Opaskwayak Cree Nation by the Paw, and Broken Head, which is the South Beach hotel and casino up there. And we are moving up to Fisher River as well, which is why we have so many recruits, because we need the manpower to
Yes.
run.
Yeah, it's the province of Manitoba.
Yeah.
Really, it is.
Yep.
So how many officers do you have now?
Currently, we probably have about 70, because we just had a class graduate last Thursday of 16. So that brings our numbers up to about in our 70s probably.
When you look at the geographic areas, 70 doesn't cover very much ground.
No. But we're also hiring support staff, so this is more administrative positions to build up our capacity to further the police officers. So we're running like a headquarters. So we got a lot of staff that have recently also been hired.
Okay. And I would think you go out to the band offices and for some there's schools. Is there still schools on the locations?
Yeah, we do lots of, like, we're joined as a couple of after-school programs with the
Okay.
Yeah, run 2 after-school programs with the youth.
Yeah.
As well as school presentations when requested.
Okay.
So whether that be on drugs, bullying, a number of different things. So, yeah.
Okay.
We're involved.
Well, really appreciate the work that you do. I can't imagine. It's beyond my comprehension. Thank you.
for having us.
How long have you been involved with the fire and rescue in Virden and Wallace?
So I joined the fire service in the year 2000.
Okay, that's...
And I moved away for 2 years, but I came back, so like 23-ish years it's gone.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
It's been a while. And you were just promoted to fire chief relatively recently?
Yes, they voted me in as chief a couple months ago, I guess.
Okay, just a little while. How many volunteer firefighters do you have on your department?
So in the Virden station, we have approximately 20 firefighters right now. We usually like to run 30, but 20 to 24 is a good number.
And they have to take training, correct?
Yes. Yeah, we provide on-the-job training for everybody.
Yeah. There's courses they take and...
Yeah, we train every Thursday night in-house on how we operate. And then we also train to course curriculums. And so we also partner with Manitoba Emergency Services College to offer certified courses, quite often with our mutual aid partners. So departments surrounding us as well to become certified firefighters.
Okay. You said in Virden, is there extended out Elkhorn, the other directions you have?
Yes, so Walsh District Fire Department, we're made of 2 stations, Station 1 in Virden, Station 2 in Elkhorn.
Okay.
And so they just recently made a chief position in Virden and Elkhorn. So Elkhorn, Aaron Lewis is the chief over there now.
Okay.
And then we are part of a mutual aid district, Oak Lake Mutual Aid. And so there's 9 stations in total in that district.
Okay. I'm somewhat familiar with mutual aid. Do you work with the fire college in Brandon? Then is that
yes,
that the emergency training? Is that in Brandon?
Yes. So Office of the Fire Commissioner is our regulatory body, and then the Emergency Services College out of Brandon is where we partner with to be able to provide training.
Okay. I'm familiar with one of the staff there, Craig Unger, who's just started working out of the Brandon office. So, and he was part of the fire department in his hometown. So, you answer fire calls. When 911 calls, do you know what you're going to when you answer that call?
Some days. So dispatch will send us a page, and they generally describe what it is. So they'll give us a location and a type of fire. So it'll be a structure fire, or it'll be a grass fire, or a motor vehicle collision. And that's all we get on the page for information.
No pressure. Okay.
Now we're in gear.
Yeah.
So there's actually a hood we put on,
Yep.
and gloves, and a helmet. And then if we go in a structure fire, we wear a breathing apparatus.
Breathing apparatus. Okay.
Yeah.
And that's hot in there.
Yeah, it's pretty warm.
And heavy. You have to be very physically fit.
Yeah, the first few minutes isn't bad. After that, you do.
I don't know if it's as bulletproof as what you're wearing, but
Mine?
yeah.
It is, yeah.
Oh no, we stand like this.
Shoot him!
Well, you have to work very closely together in a lot of cases. You really do. Oh, excellent. No, that's so you have to have turnout gear like this for every firefighter.
Yeah. Every firefighter has turnout gear. Everyone going into a fire wears this pack. Pack comes with mask goes on your face.
Yeah.
Might as well, right?
No, why not? Oh, excellent.
You want to turn me on? Now we're breathing air out of the tank.
Breathing air out of the tank. Wow. So all the toxic fumes from all the kinds of things the buildings are made of now are not going into your lungs.
Yeah. So it's positive pressure.
Yeah.
So what that is if I do develop a leak here,
Yeah.
it just blows air out.
Yeah.
So when
Okay.
we're in here, we don't have to suck air out, it forces air in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you ever see us shaking on the fire ground, it's because if we stand still too long, our alarms go off.
No ants in your pants.
No.
No. Wow. Now, your gear has to be certified. Like there's a certain number of years and then that whole apparatus has to be replaced.
Yes.
You're only good for fires for X number of years.
Yeah. So, you want to shut that off? The gear itself, the pants and the jacket and the boots have a 10-year life.
10-year, okay.
The pack, it's good as long as it doesn't break for the life of it.
Okay.
But the tank on the pack has a 15-year life, and it has to be recertified every 5 years.
Okay. Where do you get your tanks refilled?
We actually have a compressor in our station.
You have your own compressor.
Ours is provided by Office of the Fire Commissioner for our mutual aid district. It's
Okay.
just housed in our
Yeah,
station.
I know it. At Neepawa, they have it, and one at Neepawa. It's really squeaking at you there.
It will keep making noise.
Make a noise. And I know that whole set of gear comes at a fairly hefty price tag. So when you have to
Yeah, it's quite pricey.
Yeah.
I think about $3,500 for the jacket, the boots, or the jacket, the pants, and the boots are another $600 probably.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, it's thousands of dollars worth of gear.
Yeah. No, I think there's, and you don't ride on the back of a fire truck. You ride inside them now. You know, it's
In them, seatbelts on.
seatbelts on.
Yeah.
So
You might see us at the random grass fire. If we're fighting a fire, we'll stand on top of the truck or the tailboard, but we're actually wearing a harness and harnessed to the vehicle.
Okay.
And then we can't cross, I think it's 10 kilometers an hour. So just while we're actively working.
Yeah. Have the grass fires been an issue this year?
They were for a bit, but today's snow and rain took care of that.
Yeah.
We've been to, I think, just 2 of them this year so far.
Okay, that's.
But it's still April, so.
It's still April.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got to get things. What's this guy's job?
This is Evan. He is a newer firefighter with us, so
Okay.
he is a firefighter.
Okay.
His job is all the jobs.
His job is all the job.
Yeah.
You have a safety officer, correct? Someone who knows how many people are there.
Yeah. So every scene we go to, if I'm there, I'll be the commander, and then we'll have a safety officer. The safety officer will do accountability, which is we keep track of every person on site, where they are, what they're doing. And then after the safety officer, you'll have a captain and a lieutenant and firefighters. And so the captain will be tasked with putting out a car fire, and the lieutenant will be the lieutenant's job is to take the firefighter and do that, basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you ever had a cadet program where you have younger people involved with the fire department?
Yes. So in our station and Alcorn, with the Walls District, we have a cadet program. I actually have an application here.
Okay. It's,
we can take up to 4 junior cadets at our station at a time. And so they have to be at least 16 years of age and enrolled in school.
Okay. Because I know of a young man who went to another community, the other end of the country, and had the opportunity to be a cadet out in the Maritimes, and it was a tremendous experience for him. So I didn't know. So you've had cadets, and
we've had a few cadets, and we've actually had a fair few of them have carried on to secondary education and into the fire or emergency services.
Well, I know, and then there's the ones who become professionals that work out of Brandon and other areas.
Yeah.
So
we have our share of those, and it's I highly recommend it to everybody. It's a great opportunity to start at a young age and get involved in a service like this.
This is one of the hats you wear in Virden, and we appreciate that. We appreciate the people who are new on the fire department.
Yeah.
So it's a good opportunity to listen to them talk about it all over again.
Exactly.
So, no, thank you very much. Appreciate that,
Thank you.
Corey.
And just one more shout out to all the members. We need them.
Yeah, everyone, and you're not at your full complement right now, but you're in a healthy position
We're
with
in a
your
really good,
department.
healthy position, and we would encourage more people to join if they choose.
Okay, thank you.